Sharon Meredith, certified health coach with Take Shape for Life and creator of Fitness with Heart. I am here today to talk to my really good friend, Dr. Michelle Dexter. She is an integrative psychologist and a professor. She's fabulous. She's got a lot of great information about healthy sexuality. And as you know, I'm all about health, which is all encompassing. So I'm just going to start asking her some questions, if that's okay with you.
That is fabulous.
Fantastic.
Lay it on me.
So the first thing is, what exactly is healthy sexuality?
Well, I've been researching this for a while now, and it's really fascinating to see the themes and the patterns that have emerged. And one of the patterns, I should say the biggest pattern that's emerged actually, is that healthy sexuality is having a healthy body, so healthy sexual functioning, healthy hormones, all those fun things.
Gotta have it.
Yes, healthy mind, so healthy attitudes towards sexuality, healthy emotions towards sex and sexuality. So, things like, it's fun to be sexual, I like to be sexual, it's safe to be sexual.
Oh, so important.
It's so important because a lot of people don't feel safe being sexual. That's overwhelming and scary and embarrassing and shameful.
Yeah. I getcha.
Yeah.
Used to have that. Not anymore.
Yay.
Yay.
Yes, and so a lot of people, are kind of overwhelmed by sex and sexuality, and that's scary, and so the opposite of that, obviously, healthy sexuality is, again, that it's safe to be sexual, it's good to be sexual, in whatever context feels good to you, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, and then the third part is that sexuality has some type of spiritual component, and I don't necessarily mean like God or religion, I just mean like that part, that sacred part of self, that essence of self part, that part where you can feel intimately connected to something larger than yourself. Absolutely. So for a lot of people, this is about feeling that deep, intimate connection, in a sexual encounter, and feeling that sense of, that I'm really sharing a deep part of myself and I'm receiving a deep part of you. And so that sense of intimacy, like I said, that goes beyond just the everyday, and that it's something a little bit transcendent, that it's that something beyond ourselves, something beyond the mundane.
I totally get it. Yeah, it's that, and it's not just in sex, but just in like a relationship, with a friendship or whatnot. But what I understand you to say is, with that coupling, having that intense connection, so it's not just sex.
Yes.
It's everything together.
Yes.
Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul.
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's the biggest thing that I would say, is that we need to address all of those parts in order to have healthy sexuality. And so just very briefly, start with the body, start with physical functioning. The two most common problems I see in my practice as a sexologist: for men, it's erectile dysfunction, and for women, it is painful sex, painful intercourse. And so obviously the place to start is with your general practitioner, who will refer you to a urologist or an OBGYN, depending on if you need those services, to have a full physical workup. A lot of people don't know this, but erectile dysfunction in men is usually an indicator that something is going wrong in the cardiac situation. So a lot of men, this is the beginning of heart disease, and so that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so please rule that out.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then your physician can recommend hormone replacement or whatever else. Just a quick little tip. Something that research shows helps with ED, for all you men out there who want a little pep in your step, if you will. Fish oil. It turns out that fish oil is good for the vascular system.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. And fish oil has a lot of other great. That's one of the supplements as a health coach that I recommend as well. So cool.
We're on the same page.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And so then, and the mind and the spirit. So this is where you need to work with an integrative psychologist or sexologist, such as myself, to look at, what are those mental programs that you have running that are maybe getting in the way of healthy sexual functioning and enjoying sex, because there's all kinds of programs out there that are going to interfere. So things like, again, sex isn't safe, my sexuality is bad or wrong, my sexuality is shameful, it's not safe to express myself sexually because I'll be criticized or maligned in some way. And so we have to look at the root causes for those things. So, one of the cases that really sticks out in my mind is a man who came to me who is in his late 40s and experiencing some erectile dysfunction. And so when we looked at the root cause, what we found out is that when he was 14, that mom discovered his porn collection. And
bad boy.
That's right. And
God forbid that a 14-year-old wants to learn. Anyway.
Yeah, shocking, right? A 14-year-old boy was looking at porn. I know. Yes. So, but mom shamed him, you know, and mom made him feel really bad and really dirty, and basically told him that that was not okay, and that was dirty and disgusting. And so no wonder that he made an unconscious decision that, you know, it wasn't okay to have good and healthy sexual functioning, you know, because in his mind, you know, his sexuality was bad, dirty, and wrong. So of course it manifested physically. So I'm happy to report that we've cleaned up that story, and things are a lot better for him.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
And for women, like I said, the painful sex issue, again, you know, we have to go back to those root causes. We have to look at those early stories. So one of the root causes that really sticks out in my mind was a client who came to me who had basically been traumatized during potty training. And obviously during potty training, we're taught about our bodies and you know, bodily functioning. But she was basically told that her genitalia was bad, dirty, ugly, you know, unacceptable, you know, that gross things like urine come out of there. And so, you know, her shame about that part of her body, you know, led her to completely shut down. And so no wonder she couldn't tolerate sexual penetration. That was just too overwhelming, too painful for her. And it brought up all of those feelings. Now, I'm not saying that this was conscious. You know, people are not walking around.
I get it.
Yeah, thinking, gee, well, you know, it must have been because of my potty training trauma that I have this issue.
Right. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Excuse me for interrupting, but, you know, a woman of mature age.
Yes.
So painful sex I know can happen to, what's the cause of that? You know,
you know, it depends. Again, we have to look, you know, is the problem physical, is it emotional, and is it psychospiritual, or is it all three? And so we have to address all three of those things. For a woman over a certain age, shall we say, it can be fairly physical. It can just be simply lack of proper hormones. And so
premenopausal, postmenopausal.
Yeah, exactly. And so working with an endocrinologist to get bioidentical hormones, you know, can be a godsend. And I recommend bioidenticals. You know, this is my professional opinion. I just want to make that very clear, because I think that they are just superior to the synthetic ones. You know, my orientation, like I said, is integrative. And so, you know, things that come from nature, I think are more easily absorbed by our bodies rather than things that come out of a laboratory. But again, that's my opinion. And so then we have to look at the psycho-emotional and psycho-spiritual. And so again, you know, it can be those similar issues, you know, earlier abuse, you know, earlier shame experiences. You know, just another woman came in with this similar issue, and her virgin experience had been terribly embarrassing for her. She didn't tell her partner that she was a virgin. And so obviously things didn't go terribly smoothly.
Yes.
And he never wanted to sleep with her again. And then this man had the gall at a party not too long after that to announce to the entire group that she was a terrible lay.
Oh,
yes.
And that's horrible. I mean, I can't even imagine people doing that, but they do.
Yeah, they do. These things happen to people.
And then we tell ourselves stories that aren't even true, but we make it up into our head that it's reality.
Exactly.
When it wasn't.
Exactly. Yeah. A woman of a certain age, you know, having some difficulty with this. And so obviously that was one of the root causes, you know, so we had to go back and we had to, you know, do the therapeutic treatment on that story.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell that, you know, we really have to address those three layers. We have to address the body, the mind, and the soul, because, you know, if we address only one, then we've only solved probably 1/3 of the problem.
Right. I totally get it. It's integration is everything. Yes. You know, we have the trilogy wheel: healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, which is just a little different, but there's a lot of different components within there.
Yes.
Now, last question for you.
Yes.
Do you have any great tips for people to have healthy sex?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, let's hear them.
Yes. So I have lots and lots of tips, but
give us our top 2 or 3.
Okay. So number one, educate yourself. You know, a lot of people tell me, in fact, I have to say every person I've ever researched or had participate in my research on healthy sexuality, every single person has said, when I ask the question, what has harmed or hindered your sexuality? They've all said lack of education. Yeah. And
not quite when you go to grade school and you had sex ed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or your mom gave you the talk about the birds and the bees.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, what kid likes that, you know?
I know, no one.
Yeah, what kid is like, gee, Mom, tell me more.
Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Go.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people, you know, they just don't have they haven't been exposed. So get yourself some literature, get yourself some books. There's lots and lots of books out on the market if you're a reader. Or, you know, there's lots and lots of videos out there that are specifically designed to be kind of fun and sexy, you know, for educational purposes. So, you know, things like videos on how to give good oral sex, you know, or videos on experimenting with different sexual positions, you know, or if you're more on the psycho-spiritual side of things, like tantric techniques, you know. So get some good videos, you know, that, like I said, they can be fun and sexy to watch, and you can learn a lot. And if you need more education beyond that, go and talk to your doctor. You know, that's what they're there for. You know, especially somebody who's—
Or you.
Yeah, or me.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Or, you know, I was just going to say, a sexologist, a sex therapist, a sexologist, you know, that's what we're here for. We're happy to answer your questions. We're happy to talk about what's normal and what's typical, and, you know, what areas, you know, are challenges, and give some advice that's specific to you. So I would say that would be my number one piece of advice is get some education and seek out help if you need it. And other than that, learn to be a little more, how should we say, open to new ideas and experiences.
Risque.
Yes.
I'm going to say it risque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in whatever way feels good to you, you know?
No, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone both parties in the relationship need to feel safe.
Yeah, exactly.
First and foremost, I would guess.
Exactly. So yeah, just be willing to entertain new reading material, new videos, or new experiences, just for the sake of, hey, I'm going to try something.
Something new.
Yeah, something new. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fantastic information, and Michelle has got a lot more. One thing that I'll remember that she had told me is sex before dinner. You don't want to feel bloated.
Yes.
Sex, some healthy sex, and if you need any advice or anything, Michelle is absolutely fabulous. Comment here and I'll get you in touch with her, but it's drmichelledexter.com. Am I right?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. Bye.